I am John Monheim, and in this section I'll be talking to you about the internal factor analysis summary for Dish Network. So how did we determine our strengths and weaknesses? We pulled from our internal audit, our value chain, and ratio analysis cards. We came up with a total of 13 strengths and about 10 weaknesses total. We then used Trello and Google Forms to condense that list down into 3 top strengths and 4 top weaknesses. Here is our top 3 list of internal strengths for Dish Network. Number 1 is the wide range of network and technology ability of Dish. Number 2 is the Hopper service, and number 3 is the fact that they own a large amount of spectrum rights. So we thought that Dish Network had a very strong range of network outreach and technology. They're able to cover a very wide range of area, and that obviously equals quite a few customers. And without their satellite technology, they probably wouldn't exist at all. Hence, they're a satellite provider. They have 16 satellites actually in orbit right now, and 2 more on the way. The second strength that we picked out for Dish Network is their Hopper service, which I don't know if any of you are familiar with this, but it allows you to record 8 shows at once. You can actually watch 4 shows on one screen at once. It's basically the best product like this on the market. However, there are other programs and devices like this, like a TiVo or something like that. But this is unique because it lets you basically make your TV into a smart TV. You can go on, you can access the internet, and you can pay your bills, and you can buy HBO shows and all that kind of stuff. So it's a pretty neat device, and we thought it was a very important strength. So our third strength for Dish Network is the fact that they own a large amount of spectrum rights. Dish owns about 12% of the industry capacity of these spectrum rights, and as you can see by this chart, they have just as many as T-Mobile. And usually these spectrum rights are held by mobile providers such as a Sprint or an AT&T or Verizon, and Dish is not that, which makes it an interesting business proposition that they would hold so many of these, either if they're looking to sell them or if they're looking to lease them out, or even if they're looking to merge with another company. It's very important for Dish. So moving on to our top internal weaknesses for Dish Network. Number 1 is recognized as the worst company to work for. It has a bad reputation for whistleblowers. There's a limited number of suppliers that supply the technology to Dish, and their gross margin has been trending down as of lately. So, Dish has been rated the worst company to work for by a Glassdoor survey. Not only does this hurt millennial draw to the company to go work there or even to buy a service from Dish, but it's also a huge public image problem just in general. They offer poor flexibility and benefits, and there's a culture of distrust at Dish. And when the CEO had this brought to his attention, he actually said that was ridiculous, and he didn't even acknowledge it whatsoever. So our number 2 weakness is that Dish has a bad rap for their whistleblowers. And this also contributes to a bad public image problem. A story here that we found was that a vendor submitted false invoices, and one of the people in the office at Dish found this, and he went and he blew him in and testified and all that, and basically Dish blacklisted that employee. And they had unwillingness to work with other businesses that hired this employee. They gave him negative job references, and in the end, Dish was forced to pay about $275,000 to this employee for all this injustice. That's not a very big problem for Dish. It's not a lot of money. However, it does hurt your public image pretty bad. So another weakness for Dish is that they have a limited amount of suppliers. EcoStar, which actually spun Dish off as a separate company, produces almost all of Dish's equipment. And this contract is actually coming to a close in the next couple of years, and we thought this might be kind of a weakness for Dish because they don't have a whole lot of bargaining power in who makes their equipment, and this could be a problem. So our last weakest for Dish Network is the fact that their gross margin has been trending down. As you can see from this little chart here, their gross margin has been trending down for about the past 10 years. It's actually at one of its lowest points. And this is obviously not a good thing. Dish is having a hard time drawing value out of the assets that they own. And we think that operational efficiency is probably lacking at Dish for whatever reason. And we thought that this was a pretty important week.